Hey guys, what's up? My name is Adam Cho. Something I'm going to be talking about is being fat my whole life. So that's something that was really, really hard for me growing up because being fat your whole life, you're pretty much made fun of by so many other people that you don't even think about like what you're going to wear the next day because you're embarrassed. So you just put on anything that you can and get to school or get to wherever you got to get to. So, growing up, I used to like to eat a lot. I mean, even today, I still like to eat, but I stay within my macros. But growing up, I used to eat like uncontrollably. Something that my parents would do to keep me shut, because I used to talk a lot, would be like feeding me random things that I like, just so that way I would eat something and shut up. And that actually realistically gave me some weird like things in my life where it became something of a problematic thing, where realistically I was eating a lot more than I should, and I actually gained a lot of weight. So growing up, I was made fun of a lot because of my weight, but realistically, that wasn't really the biggest thing. For me, it was actually being Asian, but being overweight was one of those things where I was made fun of. And coming with that comes like smelling weird because you got to get within the crevices, you got to get within the cracks or whatever, all those things. And I just remember like growing up and getting sick and tired of those things. So I really didn't have that many friends because of that. I didn't have confidence. I didn't have drive. And that was something that was really hard for me. Even talking to girls growing up was really hard until I got to high school. That changed a little bit, but that's because I decided to make a decision to lose weight. And that was something that was really hard for me, was the transition to lose weight, because in the beginning I was very uneducated. I didn't know what I was doing, and I would just eat salads and eat like eggs and a whole bunch of other things that I thought were low calorie, but even within that I was still not losing the weight. So I had to educate myself a little bit. And what I used to do was look at old bodybuilding videos, especially like Arnold Schwarzenegger, like pumping iron. That was one documentary I used to watch a lot because I was curious about those things. And even growing up, my dad was somewhat of a bodybuilder when it came to lifting weights. He always had an aesthetic to him. And that's something that even myself, I wasn't able to achieve. So just keep in mind, like, this man's going to the gym at 10 in the morning and I'm still sleeping. And then when he comes back, he brings me a meat burrito because that's what he's eating, or whatever he's on a diet on, he would make me eat. I used to eat like a lot of cottage cheese and like yogurt, but then growing up later on, they would just give me random stuff. And that's where it got really bad because I didn't really care about my figure. I didn't care about how I looked. I didn't care about any of those things in front of people. So going shopping as a young kid was very hard because they always had to get me clothes that hardly fit because I wasn't like fitting into those kids' clothes, so they had to get me bigger clothes. And even something I can even say is when you're overweight, you put on shoes that are like way bigger for you than you should, and because your feet are wider. And that's something that I experienced when losing weight. Was I actually went down a couple shoe sizes because I was like, my feet were wider. And that's a lot of things that people struggle with. And I think the biggest thing is confidence, because confidence is like one of the biggest things that everyone struggles with, especially being overweight. You don't have confidence to talk to people, for one. You don't have confidence to talk to girls, or vice versa. If you're a girl, you don't have confidence to talk to guys. You don't have confidence to talk to anybody. You're always walking around with your head down, always trying to pull your shirt like this because you're afraid of people seeing, like, the Mexicans say, like, I'm half Mexican and half Korean. So my parents would say, or my mom would say, lonjas. You're trying to hide your lonjas or that extra fat. And it's, or love handles in English, right? But it's one of those things that just becomes very, very hard. And it's really hard to talk to people. It's really hard to associate with people. And if you're struggling with that, it's not hard. You just got to make the decision to actually lose the weight. You're actually talking to someone that used to be 320 pounds. I got down to 190 something last year. And I actually gained 20 pounds right now, or actually from that point I gained 30 pounds because I did put on 10 pounds before that. But I gained 20 pounds to prove to you guys that it's not really hard. And that's something I'll be vlogging a lot. But going back to that main point on the discussion on being fat and insecure. So when I got to high school, it was really, really tough because, like I said, I didn't really have many friends back then because of the insecurity. So I was a very lonely person, and that's something that really sucked for me. But When I decided to change my life around and actually lose the weight, that's when things started to change for me. So in high school, I joined football, and that actually helped me a lot because not only was I able to surround myself with football player friends, but at the same time, I was able to actually lose weight because I was doing cardio, I was lifting weights in the weight room, and those are actually things that I still carry on to today. That's actually how I lost my weight. I'll get into that in a bit, but going back to the football part, that really did train me to get to where I am today. But in high school, when I joined football, I lost like 40 pounds, and it made it super easy to make friends, super easy to talk to more girls, super easy to do other things. But after that, I actually got really lazy with the gym because I got super comfortable where I was. And that's another thing. Comfortability is a killer. Don't get comfortable where you're at. You always want to like seek for more, or do something, you know? Like if you get comfortable, that's where death is. That's what I always say. Death is comfortability. And that is something that I would say is getting comfortable can be one of the worst things. And when I got comfortable, I started going to church a lot more. And for some reason, because, you know, when I started going to church and I gave my life to Christ, I believed, and I thought this was a belief. So if you're struggling with this too, I'll help you out here. It was something that I struggled with was, dang, like, I am scared to go vain. I'm scared to be vain. I'm scared to be prideful or narcissistic in the way my body looks. But, you know, that's the wrong mindset to go into it, because even the Bible says that your body is a temple. It's something you have to take care of. It's something that you have to nurture. And because I started going to church, I completely let myself go, which is something that I like to call lazy Christianity. You can blame it all on God. You can blame it all on going to church, or like, oh, I shouldn't do this and I shouldn't do that. But realistically, it's just lazy Christianity. God has nothing to do with that. That all has to do with your own willpower. What you do with your body is up to you. Your own salvation is onto yourself. And as long as you're not getting vain or prideful, then it's really easy to actually lose the weight. And you can keep the weight off and still look good and still be a Christian, because even your weight is a testimony to other people. You would never think that, but my mom used to tell me that all the time. And that's something that I will say to you guys is, if you're trying to lose weight and you're Christian, don't be afraid to. It's really important to be a testimony to other people and talk to them. And going on to that point, so I gained a lot of weight because I was always going to church. I was traveling all the time to church. I was super excited, which, believe it or not, I still am a super excited Christian to go to church. I go to church as much as I can. I go to worship nights and prayer nights if I can at Eden. It's a church out in Houston, but something I will say is you can't get lazy, and you can't even get lazy with your faith. The same principle applies. And when I became a Christian, I literally gained about like 140 pounds. I was huge. I was 320 pounds. And I got really sick and tired of it because it was so tough, because the things that I had to go through sucked. I lost my confidence again. That was the biggest thing. Losing my confidence sucked. 2, every time I would get into like going into the dressing room to go find clothes, that was the worst thing ever. It was literally the worst thing. And it was embarrassing to see like all my fat coming out of my shirts, all my fat coming out of my pants. I couldn't put my pants higher than my waistline and all of those things. It was really, really weird to see those things. But I got really sick and tired of it. And then it made me lonely, for one, and really insecure. So when I decided to take that life-changing experience, what I did was I decided to eat healthier. I decided to find a close gym, and I decided to make a routine. Time management is super important, especially when you're trying to lose the weight. You can't just think you're going to lose weight and not manage your time properly. You have to do those things, and you have to make sure that you are making time for yourself. And not only that, like making sure that you are losing the weight. Your diet is so important. Like I used to eat a lot of egg whites, a lot of low carb stuff. And that's something that we can talk about another time, but you don't have to cut off carbs completely to lose weight. That in itself is a complete myth. You actually need carbs to fuel your muscle, but we'll get into that in another time. But I was eating a lot of turkey products, a lot of egg whites, a lot of low calorie breads, the keto breads, which those are trash. Don't go with those. I would recommend not to touch those. But I was trying all this keto diet and I felt really weak for a while, but then my numbers started to go up because I was eating a lot of protein. I was sticking to protein shakes at night. I wouldn't eat past 6. I would literally make a protein shake at nighttime, like around 7, with Greek yogurt and a protein powder inside and frozen fruit. That's actually something that I learned from my dad. And that was something that really helped me out a lot, satiate my hunger throughout the night. But yeah, it was a lot of discipline. Discipline is the major thing. And of course, I went through a lot of setbacks as well. That's something I will say. The setbacks was probably one of the hardest things in time, because there's going to be times where like you're doing well on your diet and all of a sudden you're just eating trash again. And that's not something you want. You know, that's one of the worst things ever. And I'll say that that really does suck. But what I'll tell you is if you get set back, just try it again. Just start over again. Don't even worry about waiting till like the end of the year. Don't make it a New Year's resolution. Just start up again the next day. It's all right. It happens to the best of us. And that's what I would say is like, when I started to lose the weight, I gained my confidence. Not only was I able to like quit my job that really was tough for me because I wasn't making enough money. I got another job that made me a lot more money, and it put me on a path to scaling businesses and all those things. It helped me really help myself with my confidence in talking to women, talking to girls. It was really easy from that point. Not saying I'm the best looking guy or anything, but from that point and being like super obese, it's way easier than you would think now than then. Because it's just, you don't have to worry about somebody looking at your double chin or somebody looking at the size of your man boobs or anything like that, you know? And that's something that motivated me a lot, was not wanting to be lonely for the rest of my life. And I'm grateful now that I have a beautiful fiance that takes care and meets all of my needs. And it's really a blessing for sure. But that wouldn't have ever happened if I would have never changed my lifestyle, which that started with me being consistent at the gym. Consistency is going to be your best friend. If you're not consistent, you're not going to get to where you want. And that's what I'd say is like, if you're struggling and you're trying to lose weight, you have to create the lifestyle in your mind. You have to make that a lifestyle in your mind. You have to paint the picture of what you want. You need to know what you want, and you need to aim for it. That's the first step. You need to think about what you want, and then you need to manifest it in your life by doing those things to get there. If you never take the steps, you're never going to get there. That's just a common thing. And that is something realistically that I did. I got that job. I got a nicer car, a way nicer car as 2025. I was able to move past my beater Nissan Sentra 2013 and got a 2025 car because I was able to boost my confidence in getting a new job. And then I got the new car. And then I was also able to get my fiance like that. She started off first as my really good friend, becoming my best friend, and now she's my fiance. Oh, then girlfriend, then fiance, which that is one of the biggest blessings in my life. And if you're lonely, that's the biggest step, is actually starting to start a routine, discipline yourself, starting your diets. And when you fall back or you set back yourself, just get back up. It's not a problem. It's just the same concept with Christianity. Like if you sin, just get back up. You know, and it's up to you what you want to do. You have to want it more than anybody else. Nobody's going to do it for you. The person on your left and the right isn't going to do it for you. You have to do it for yourself like I did it for myself. And I'm really grateful that I was able to do those things, because growing up fat my whole life really sucked until I got to high school and I lost weight because of football. And then I gained it all back after when I went to college, which was horrendous, you know? And that's one of the biggest stories that I can tell you is, when you start to see yourself gaining weight, that's when you need to push harder to lose the weight. Don't wait till the very end, because if you wait another 2 months, you're just going to gain 20 pounds on top of that. You're going to gain 30 pounds on top of that. And you're going to ask yourself, where did my time go? Why did I mess up like this? Why did I let myself get this big? That becomes a you problem at that point, and you don't want that. I don't want that, you know, but I gained this weight purposely to show you guys that it's not hard. So that's what this program is for, and that's the program that I'm starting, is to help you lose weight, but also build muscle. So if you really want to learn to lose weight and build muscle, follow me on my page. The links will be in the description. You guys can find my Instagram, my Twitter, or X now, and you guys can find Instagram, Facebook, all those things. It's really important if you're trying to lose the weight. So like, don't wait for tomorrow. Don't wait for a New Year's resolution. Just start now, man.